Hi guys, I'm here driving in my town car. It's snowing outside. The car is nice and clean, just washed it earlier. And I'd like to talk about a vehicle I owned a longer time ago. So in 2011 I was looking for an affordable vehicle that's large, fits, has a lot of seats and has a lot of cargo room as well. Since the truck has an open cargo space, and that's not what I needed, I thought it would be an SUV. I wasn't a huge SUV fan, but I kind of started to like the Ford Expedition from back in the time. So my decision fell for used 2007 Ford Expedition Eddie Bauer trim. I'm sure you remember those. It was the two colored ones. And I found it with 70-something thousand miles. It had a good body, the paint was great, never had an accident. Only had, I think, 2 owners. But it had a cracked windshield and tires that were not very good. So what did I do? I bought it, had the windshield, the dealer fixed it. The tires I had to buy myself, which was okay. I bought Michelin's LTX. I still remember that like it was yesterday. Although I don't remember everything about the car, but I do remember a few things I want to talk about. It had the 5.4 Triton V8 engine, which is a little bit a controversial engine. You know, people don't like it that much. Mechanics don't like it. It's a little bit harder to work on, and it proved to be true when I had it. I had to change the spark plugs, and the dealership, the Ford dealership, broke one off, couldn't get it out, then got another one stuck, couldn't get it out, and it was at the shop for, I think, 4 days just to change spark plugs and do an oil change. What a mess. They didn't charge me for all the labor, of course, but still. The engine itself, it was a good engine. It wasn't super powerful, but powerful enough, and it sounded, well, I didn't think it sounded too bad. Let's say that. I don't want to say it sounded good. It was nothing special, you know. But yeah, it was not a bad engine. From the maintenance standpoint, probably not a recommendation. So I like that. Mine was not the long version of the Expedition, which was fine. I didn't need the long one, so I like that. I like that you could fold all the seats in, nice and flat. It had a lot of cargo space in it. It was a good vehicle. I enjoyed it. Our family enjoyed the vehicle, and we used it a lot. I did back up into a light pole with it. It had no backup camera, which it took pretty well. You could barely see that there was a little mishap that happened, so it took that well. I had someone rear-end me at slow speed. Nothing showed, so that was good. It was a pretty solid build car. Now the interior wasn't that good. I mean, it was typical Ford quality from the early 2000s, hard plastics, and the leather was real leather, but it was not like it. There was nothing luxurious about that leather at all. It was almost like there was a plastic coating on it, and it was really thick plastic coating on top of the leather. It's hard to explain, but I won't complain. It was a good vehicle, and I like it, and sometimes I even miss it. What did I do to it? I had the aftermarket remote start installed. I had a radio that broke, so when the radio broke, I bought a touchscreen radio, which was cool. It could play DVDs as well, even while driving. It was weird. Normally they don't do that, but this one did. I had that installed, so that was a nice addition to it. You know, it made the cockpit look a lot more modern, and you'll see that in the pictures that I'm showing while I'm filming this. I show pictures in the background, so you see what I'm actually talking about. And I had the windows tinted, of course. I always have the windows tinted, so it looked a lot better. Most Expeditions back then were just you know, like boring family vehicles, and they didn't have anything done, no aftermarket stuff on them, all dinged up, all messed up inside from the kids leaving a mess. Just kind of nasty vehicles, the kind of vehicle you don't want to park next to when you go to the grocery store. You know, that's what the Expeditions back then were, and they still are a lot of times. Even they're that expensive, they cost a lot, but they still have that feel and that look to them. Those full-size Expeditions and Suburbans too. Mine was different. It was very clean and very well kept, and it just looked nice. I'm not into red cars, but I think the color looked good too, and I like to do the dual color from the Bauer trim line as well. After that, Ford dropped the Bauer trim line, and I think they added the King Ranch trim line in their Expeditions and their F-150s and also F-250s, I believe, and back then the Super Duties. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it is. In the King Ranch editions, they had a lot nicer leather. They had that brown saddle leather that which really looks good. All right, so this was a short video back in time. So to my 07 Ford Expedition, I wonder where it is. Maybe I should pull a Carfax and see where it's at right now. Probably at the junkyard, I don't know. Would be interesting to know. Man, now it's starting to snow. I still have to drive quite a bit to get home, so I'll let you go. I'm gonna drive home, and my next car that I will show will be even older. You know, I had a car from the 80s, from the 90s, back in the 90s, bought it new. I'm not gonna tell you which ones they were. You'll be surprised, and that will be my next video from this series, but it will take a while. I don't do those videos that often. All right, have a fun day, and keep hitting that like button and subscribe. Thanks.